Hi. Have you ever had this happen? Suddenly something comes out of your mouth and you don't know where, it just shocks you. It wasn't what you intended to say, it just happened. It's happened to me a lot. And maybe you recognize what you said. That's what Uncle Henry always used to say. That's what Mom, Dad, somebody else who you spent a lot of time with would have said. Maybe a teacher that you're taking their class right now, or maybe a neighbor you talk to a lot. And all of a sudden you're finding yourself saying the things that they say in the same way, same tone. Well, I call that unconscious imitation because it's unintentional. Somehow seeds get planted in our heads of phrases to use in various situations, and out it pops, whether we wanted it to or not. When my kids were little, this happened quite a bit. It was as if my mother had climbed inside me, and I would say things to them that she used to say to my brother and I. One of them was, she called us little heathens a lot. There's actually a book out there. It's a great book. I love it. It's called Little Heathens. And the author is telling the same thing, that her parents frequently referred to her and all of her sisters and brothers as little heathens. You know, that's harmless. It's just a joke. Nobody meant it. But there are things sometimes that aren't harmless. I know that some of the things that I said to my kids that my mother said to me was when she was unhappy with me, and when I was unhappy with them, those were the words that came out. And you know, sometimes those words can be very, very damaging. You know the kind I'm talking about. They're really an assault, in a sense. In a sense, they can even be so hurtful that they cause damage. That's what we want to put a stop to. I'm telling you all this because it's my way of talking to myself and also to you about what we need to be aware of. Maybe the words do come out, but we can always apologize. We can always say, wait a minute, delete. I didn't mean that. This is what I really mean. And then frame it in a much more positive series of words that work a lot better and that are kinder and more respectful. So if you can stop yourself before you do it, fine. But stop yourself at some point when you realize you're doing it. And I'm talking to myself as much as to you. Family traditions can be wonderful, and they can also hurt. Some people don't remember things that were said to them. I've worked with enough clients and students who have shared their stories with me that I've found that some people just completely repress the memories. One student, for example, talked about this. He said he loathed his father. He hated his father, but he didn't know why. I suggested that he talk to some of his brothers and sisters and see if he could get some information on that, because both of his parents were gone. He did, came back to class in the next session and said, I know, I found out. They told me how he used to ridicule and humiliate me, criticize me constantly. I was sort of the black sheep of the family. There's going to be more on that later. But other people remember everything that was said. I'm more in that category. I have vivid memories of some of the things that were said to me that broke my heart and broke my spirit. Fortunately, not forever. It wasn't lasting. I found that if I was able to say to myself, well, Dad didn't really realize that he was saying something so cruel. He's been pretty stressed lately. I'm going to try my best to let it go and eventually forgive it and let it go. That's the key. So I wish you well. I hope you'll remember these points. This is basically my message for this session. Take care.